Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today with Delia Lovell, who has just defended his master thesis inside our specializing master project and contract management in construction works. His thesis is titled King Center for Ecological Sustainability and World Trade, Liberia, April 2026, a case study. And we are with Delia today to know something about his experience in the specializing master.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I found the program to be fantastic. I did work through the program. I own my own company, and I found that as I grew a new division of my company called Charge Station Inc., that is focused on building out microgrid charge stations, that the information that I was receiving in project management and contract management and process methodology and best practices around construction were fantastic and rightly placed throughout the curriculum. I did do most of my work online. I did come in person to the university and studied in the library and took some class, some pieces of the class there in Milan. That was also very wonderful to actually be on campus. And it always felt good to know that when I did drop in on the classes, that people were actually in the classroom studying the same topics that I was studying. In terms of the program, where it most impacted me was in terms of the beginning of projects. There was a lot of literature on construction projects failing in the beginning, either in how project teams were assigned or the project was too big for the budget. And so there were a lot of lessons learned about how you start and how you plan a project. So we decided to rebuild an existing architecture that already had proven itself to be successful in terms of its design and implementation to forego risk. So one of the most wonderful things I found out of the classes, and again, was the whole notion of risk management in construction. And I felt that the experience of the professors, where they fed in their own experiences, was excellent. The professors that we had, instructors that we had in the class, all came from a background of really doing it. And they came from a non-philosophical background. Hey, if you want to be successful, do this. If you want to fail, you'll do that. And I felt that kind of real world talk, especially running a real company, was beneficial. The other thing that I thought was, essential was really understanding the methodology and how it played into what was going to succeed in your project and what the results were. If you follow this, five, or depending on what country you're in, 5 or 6 stage methodology, and the tried and true proven way of doing a successful project, and you put the time in and you monitor your budget, you're going to have these certain results. More, anything can happen. COVID can happen, something that you didn't expect, right? But then if you have your risk mitigation strategy in place, you can even overcome something like COVID. You can, which took the whole world down for a year and a half. You have to have the process and the foundation in place. And I felt that that's what this program was all about, giving me as a professional in the field, coming with somewhat of a background in the technology and somewhat of a background in the project methodology. I started as a project manager with the, Project Management Association, but I don't believe you have to have that. I do believe you have to want to understand how it works. And I felt the program was great for someone who really wants to be in this field, whether or not you come from an engineer or come from an architect or come from a prior project manager. If you have a desire to want the knowledge, the program will support you. That's my feeling.
Thank you very much. I found the use of AI in this particular project to be very, very interesting. Would you tell us something about this case study in particular?
Yes, the use of AI was not driven to be cool. Now, I think
No, no,
AI
no,
is
no.
super cool. I love AI to be super cool. But in this particular case, we're dealing with one of the poorest parts of the world.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a part of the world that, your skilled access to skilled labor on a project site is limited. So where AI comes about is, with the power grid itself and doing the monitoring.
Security data, the sensors and actuators, they all come together to create a safe environment and an environment where you're dealing with a limited educated pool of workers. It's one thing when you build a site, we're bringing people, the best design people from Italy, the best design people from, builders from Mexico. We're bringing a cross team from China and other places to help. But once they go away, what do you have there to help you really keep that building operating the way that it should be? And we'll learn this again from the first Hall of Nations, the destruction of that building. It got so bad that concrete pieces were falling on people's heads, right? And so before it got to that critical point, there was a lot of stress fractures. And so when you talk about using something like a fiber optic sensing system, which is where fiber optics lay into the structural units of the building, we will know at point one of deformation. We will know when there's less than 1% deformation in that.
We will know it. So we're not wait until, photovoltaics are falling on people's heads to course of action. And so that is about keeping the environment safe. It's about keeping that building monetized. And yeah,
Okay, so thank you very much. I think you have done a great job with your master thesis. Of course, you've chosen also a very interesting case study, a project that is almost unique around the world for many reasons. Very good job and congratulations for writing a very interesting master thesis. My wish to you is that the topics and the professional tools the specializing master has tried to provide will go on being useful for this project and for your professional career in the future.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. You will be hearing more from me. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.